Boy, oh boy, this is a new one. Hawley grills Netflix CEO for promoting woke gender ideologies, secure commitment to protect US jobs. Yeah, so if you don't know why are there so limited jobs in US, it's because these big companies are hiring labor from across the seas, right? When they could easily afford American labor. It kind honestly this kind of does make sense in terms of like maximizing your profit. Why would you want to pay an American, right, when they're so overpriced? You could just pay someone overseas. However, the quality of the work does go down, which is why Netflix shows are getting shittier, getting more disgusting, and no, just like a general like I know, yeah, customer service is ass because you get some guy that sounds like this, and then he tells you some shit, and you try to understand, but you can't.
U.S. based employees does Netflix currently employ? Do you know?
About 10,000.
Yeah. What about in production roles?
Well, it's a fluid number, but we've had about 155,000 production jobs
How about now?
on our originals. At any given time, I don't know the number exactly, sir. I can follow back with your staff, though.
Warner Brothers, how many U.S. production jobs?
I don't have the exact number, but it would be, I would think, in the 8,000 range.
Okay. Here's my
Oh,
question.
is that the
If
CEO for
this
Warner
merger
Brothers?
goes through, what's your projection about the
Uh-oh.
amount of domestic production, say 2 years from now? Is it going to be static? Is it going to decline?
Our production is going to increase.
What's wrong with
Domestic
my
production.
Domestic production
Employment.
is going to increase. Most of our production is domestic, and it will continue to increase. We've recently forecast our content spend, independent of this deal, to grow to $20 billion. That's a combination of licensing, producing. Now, those licensing dollars compel production as well. That's why it's hard to get an exact number.
Oh,
Let
jeez.
me show you the data here about U.S. production recently. It's
Yeah.
the red line here, starting from in 2021.
Yeah, wow, I took a
pretty
dip.
much straight downward. There's been massive
Took a
shift in
massive
productions. I
dip.
think Senator Schiff was alluding to just a moment
Yo, what's
ago.
wrong with this YouTube player? It's not working.
A massive shift in production overseas. to
Yeah,
other
it
foreign
dropped during the
jurisdictions,
pandemic,
leaving the United
obviously,
States.
2020.
So, will you commit to
Yeah. Oh,
increasing domestic United States production and domestic United States production jobs? Did I hear you just say you would?
Senator Hawley, absolutely. It's in our business plan. It's in our long-term operating DNA. I will point out, sir, respectfully, that chart is Los Angeles.
Yeah, but it is Los Angeles, but if you look at the data, it is reflective. This reflects all of U.S. production. U.S. production is not going up, right?
But some of these jobs have moved.
true. Well, I mean, yeah, to be fair to Ted, majority of filming is in Los Angeles, right? But it's where else will you make the production happen? Other places they're very insignificant. Like what are you gonna do? Like in the middle of Iowa?
It's
Look,
going
These
down.
jobs have moved to
Yeah,
New
but the
Jersey.
overall numbers are going down, and this is exactly the concern of labor. And without objection, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to enter into a statement for the record from the Teamsters, who have major concerns about this deal, as does, frankly, pretty much every segment of labor, Mr. Sarandos. And what they all say is they're worried that you're going to cut residuals, which is effectively payments. You're going to cut production jobs. So let's just go through a few commitments here. Will you commit to using union labor for all domestic shoots?
We do use union labor.
Will you commit to using it in the future for all of your domestic shoots if this deal goes
for
through?
all.
We do use, this is the most unionized industry in America, and we use union labor on all our production.
And you're going to going forward. I'm looking for a commitment.
You have my commitment.
Will you commit to a 45-day or longer theatrical release window for major Warner Brothers films?
Senator Hawley, I just said that I would do that under oath, so yes.
Good. And will you commit to fairly compensating your workers in the industry with residual payments?
Well,
Oh, residual payments. That is
since we started operating.
fucking this YouTube player. It is aftercare package, right? So you lay someone off, oh, you can get 75% pay for the next 6 months, et cetera, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, dang, I'm kind of in the middle between this. I don't believe that it's the company's responsibility to pay a worker after they stop working. But at the same time, companies are profiting a lot out of the workers, and I don't think of it as doing it as an obligation, but doing it as an honor. Like you're honoring your end of thanking your workers for helping you make all this money. That's just my take on it.
Over
You know,
25 years
listen, what you have been routinely accused of compressing and reducing residuals, it's one of the biggest objections to labor to this deal. So let's see if you can.
Oh yeah,
to
they are in the
resonate.
union,
Will
so
you commit to?
for the most part, I am pro-union, and I think like these unions can actually help fight for certain things, and they are actually able to get residual pay out of Netflix or companies, which I think it is kind of justified considering how much money a worker makes for a company and how much they get paid through their paychecks.
Full residuals.
Senator Hawley, I would like to tell you this is a very complicated answer because we prepay.
That's usually on the way to no. That's usually what I'm saying no. So I'm looking for yes.
Senator Hawley, I understand this is not a yes or no answer because
It kind of is, though.
it kind of isn't because and we were going to sit down with the unions
You're disappointing me.
starting in the next few days. We're sitting down with the unions for new contract talks that start actually in 3 days.
That's a complicated, long no. I would really hope it would be yes.
Okay. Are you asking me to commit to residuals in the traditional form?
Oh, that's a
Because
good
I
way to
don't
put
think
it.
applies in many cases. That's why I'm getting there.
All right. Well, I think you've got some work to do on that, Mr. Sarandos, and I would hope that you'd reconsider your position. Before my time expires, I want to ask you about something else related to children. Why is it that so much of Netflix content for children promotes a transgender ideology? Almost half of your content for children, I'm talking about minor children, I'm not talking about teenagers, minor children, promotes a transgender ideology agenda. I was just looking at the data here from your various series.
That's
and what concerns
that's some
me
hot
is,
water.
just 2 days ago, a jury in New York awarded a former transitioner $2 million
What?
because she said that her psychologists and others pressured her into, they pushed on her an ideology that proved to be extremely detrimental. I'm sure you know that in the UK, the National Health Service in the UK has said that they're not going to perform transgender surgeries or any longer so-called gender-affirming care for minors.
Yeah. Here's the thing about transgenders, right? These rich people that are pushing other kids to do transgender surgery or the whole hot mess like transitioning. These rich people, they will never allow their own kids to transition. Right? Yeah, you will have some extreme cases like what is it? Was it Will Smith or something? Some celebrities, right? You will see a few of them doing this transition stuff, but for the most part, like rich people that have a functioning brain, they would not allow their kids to transition. They know it's bad for you if you will be permanently dependent on like dozens of medicine to balance out your hormones. It will fuck up your body permanently, and it will increase your risk of cancer. If you're a male and you're taking estrogen, like high doses of it, like your chromosome, the chromosome in your DNA doesn't like that, and then it will start to fight back. Your whole body will have inflammation, and yeah, it's kind of like a constant allergic reaction. It will fuck up your entire body. And once you transition, you cannot transition back. Like people say you can transition back. No, once you cut your dick off, you cannot just reinstall your old dick. Your old dick is cooked. Like, it's mutilated. The idea that you can just go back and be 100% a dude, it's all wishful thinking.
Including in counseling, because it is so incredibly detrimental. Our own HHS has come forward with similar findings this past year, yet if you turn on Netflix, you'll find that an enormous amount, and I say this as a parent with 3 young children, an enormous amount of your children's programming has this ideology and agenda in it. Is this an advocacy position for Netflix? Is this an ideological commitment you have? I mean, why is this?
Senator Hawley, Netflix has no political agenda of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that.
Well, then why is your children's program so full of this highly sexualized, highly controversial agenda? I don't understand it. It seems strange to me.
Respectfully, sir, it's because it's inaccurate. We have millions of hours of children's programming.
You're
can't.
saying it's not there. You don't have trans.
Hawley, you
don't
got
feature
proof,
trans
Hawley?
characters, trans storylines, trans themes. It's not in your programming.
I'm saying we feature a wide variety of stories and programs to meet a wide variety of people's tastes.
Why is almost half of it? Why does almost half of your children's program feature?
Pull up the list,
this
Hawley.
Highly controversial, highly sexualized material. That just seems strange to me. It can't possibly be a reflection of the population.
Senator Hawley, I don't have any idea where that number would come from or what.
Is he talking about the thing with Spider-Man and Elsa? You know, like Spider-Man and Elsa always making out with each other. That shit is so weird. You have like Disney and Marvel characters fucking each other in these like kid entertainment cartoons. Hello, YouTube? You can work now.
But I can't speak to that.
Well, what do you mean you don't think it's been my personal experience? You don't think that I monitor what my children watch on your... Here's what I tell you what my personal experience is since you bring it up. My personal experience is that my 3 children, I can't let them watch anything they want on Netflix. I can't let them watch anything on Netflix unless I preview it, because I don't have confidence in what's on your platform. I don't know what they're going to encounter, and I tell you what, I don't want my kids being pushed an agenda about their sexuality or gender identity when I have not had the opportunity first to discuss it with them and to form them in that. And I, frankly, on behalf of parents around the country, it offends me that Netflix is pushing this content at parents in what seems to be a very coordinated, thought-through, planned-out agenda in a way that, frankly, I think undermines parents, certainly undermines me and my wife. We have to watch every show beforehand before we can let our kids watch it. Now, I don't know. That seems pretty concerning to me. I know you make a gob of money on it, and maybe that's but it just seems to me that it's a disservice to the parents of this country, particularly given what's happening with our youth on this subject.
So, Senator, if I may answer, like I said, we have millions of hours of content on Netflix at any given time. We have state-of-the-art tools for you to manage those choices for your children and to block any title that you might be offended by for any reason. So this is, we are parents at Netflix as well. We share all your concerns about raising kids and also the ability to raise them as you see fit in your household and anyone else's household as well.
My concern is that you don't share my values or those of many other American parents, and you want the United States government to allow you to become one of the largest, if not the largest streaming monopolist in the world. I think we ought to be concerned about
that I wouldn't say they're monopolists, right? Previously they were monopolists, but they do have they took advantage of the streaming service in the early days, and I think that Hawley was a little too harsh on the situation. I think like there are other ways where he can approach and question him more fairly, per se, but. Yeah, but then he is right about the whole Netflix thing. Even though he didn't supply proof that there's children content that promotes transgender ideology and sexual content for kids, which is I don't agree with it. Right? I think most people won't, but yeah, I mean you can look at the stock market for Netflix, right? It ain't doing too hot. Stock prices. So that bit isn't typical media merger. Look at it. 1 month, 6 months, year to date, 1 year. Look at that. It's crashing. It's crashing hard. Even though they just acquired Warner Bros., like they're still shitting the bed. Stock rebounds as Senate. What does this mean? Netflix stock rebounds as Senate grilling sharpens focus on Warner deal? It's not rebounding. What the heck? What does this look like? It's rebounding. Let's look at the. Oh, okay, all right. It went up by like 47 cents. Good job. Now just do that every day. Do that every day, and then I will believe you. I don't know, man. It just doesn't look. It's not a good look for Netflix, right? And like Netflix, they're more focused on creating their own content because previously, they used to have all the movies under their belts, every single movie, right? But then now they're beginning to have competition like Disney, HBO Max, and some Paramount, and they're pulling their movies out of Netflix, and now Netflix is kind of barren and naked. So yeah, I think the stock is still gonna keep dropping, to be honest, right? Because I mean, how long has the CEO been in? Let's take a look. Netflix CEO. What's his name? Ted Senate. Da 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 da. Okay, CEO Ted Sarandos. Ted Sarandos. Let's see how long he has been. Okay, since 2020. Okay, age 61. Bingo bongo bosh. Yeah, I think I'm a bet on Netflix stocks to keep dropping as long as this guy is the CEO. What does he have his net worth? New Jersey. Yep. Some dude grew up in Phoenix, Arizona. His father, Theodore, electrician, mother, a homemaker. How did he get his way up there? Hold on. Netflix. After meeting CEO in 1999, started drawing Netflix in 2000. He serves as so he got up through nepotism or inside hire. I never believe in inside hire. Like if you work in a company for a long time, it doesn't mean that you will make a good boss. I've seen it many times where people just work in a position long enough and they just keep getting promoted and they climb the corporate ladder. These people that get promoted fast while working in a company, like they have never ran their own business before, they're usually good at socializing, right? They're not so good at doing the actual job. Some of his model initiated first round of original programming, starting with Lilyhammer and then continuing Breakout David Fincher, House of Cards, beginning that bought for 100 March deal. Okay, he got some deals going. Yeah, algorithm use Netflix to predict what viewers want to watch prior to producing. His personal algorithm focused on 30% judgment as highest priority, 70%. Okay. He's a Netflix aggregates has been outspoken about discarding or not holding traditional network models. He described broadcast archaic, surrounds a new model to prioritize needs of desired consumer international reach. That's a fancy word for cheap labor. Niche appeal to important part of the business model. Yeah, I don't think I would trust him with my company. People that move their way up, never really do well for the company. I mean, yeah, usually like how it works in a company, guys or like workers, they get promoted until they are at a position that they're not qualified for, and that's what's going on with him. He's not qualified to be the CEO. I mean, if he is, right, then he wouldn't be having all these problems. I mean, look at like the Microsoft CEO, right? That guy is doing well. He managed to increase the stock value in the pandemic. But dang, and this guy, I don't know. never owned the business, never endured hardship. He just got up through nepotism. So yeah, I am definitely buying some Netflix puts.